What's poppin', my friends? What's going on, my friends? It's Chris over here at VerrilloTrading. I have a very special video for you guys today. In this video, first thing is it's being recorded with a brand new Rode microphone mounted on the top of this camera about 3 feet away from me. And honestly, I think it sounds pretty good. Maybe almost as good as the microphone I used to make this entire YouTube channel from scratch, which is that one over there, which is a blue Bluebird plugged into that red box, which is a Focusrite Claret. If you guys are ever wondering how I get my magnificent sound, that's how I got it. And it's great, and you're gonna hear it again when we get back to the desk here in about 1 minute. I gotta tell you what this video is about first. We're gonna be talking about holding idle cash balances in accounts, okay? This video is dedicated to my mom, who holds too much cash in her checking account on any given day on average, okay? So it's dedicated to her, and I'm gonna open an Interactive Brokers account for her, and she's gonna put her cash there, and it's gonna earn 4.5% on the US dollar per year, all right? Does that sound good to you? So I'll be honest with you guys, $1 million deposit into the account and you earn $45,000. That's not too bad. It's like an extra little income, right? This is not financial advice. I got to tell you, that's the first freaking thing, okay? Now, the thing is that in today's day and age, some people have gripes with certain financial institutions, maybe you're not so trustworthy of every institution, and you want to make sure that you're putting your money in a place that is considered secure with an institution that is very unlikely to become insolvent. So in this video, I'm going to talk to you guys about my broker, Interactive Brokers, and show you some of their resources that you can reference for yourself to do your own research. All right, let's get on with it. But the first thing is I want to tell you guys about something. You see this screen over here right there? All right, I put that there as a test, and I was like, I want to have more screen space, and I'm going to become some sort of a workaholic and all this. But what I realized is that screen right there, and I don't know, this is just my hunch right now, but when it's on, it's facing like above the top of my head right there. So it's aiming like right at the top of my head. And I don't know what it is, but I'm a workaholic. I sit in front of the screen for 3 hours sometimes. And I've been getting these like headaches and stuff ever since I set this up. It's been about two and a half weeks at this point. And yesterday night, I turned it off. And then today it's been off all day. And guess what? My headaches are gone. I don't know if it's a placebo, but let me know if you guys have ever experienced something like that where you set up a computer screen in a different way, a new way. You added a monitor in a certain new way. And then your health started to decline. Or maybe you started feeling some different kinds of headaches. Let me know what your experiences are with that down in the comments below. This is VerrilloTrading, and I help traders come up with new, unique ways to solve their problems and make more money for their trading account. Thank you for watching. Let's get on with it. All right, the first thing is I invite you guys to do a few searches for IBKR account insurance. And you're gonna see a number of different landing pages here depending on where you're opening the account from. And this is basically regarding, in the case that IB experiences an insolvency or goes out of business, how much cash and assets they actually protect you for. So here's the Canadian landing page, and I know that on this page they say that they cover up to $1 million in cash losses and up to $30 million in assets, which is quite large and generally beats a lot of banks from what I've seen. And again, IB is not a bank. And another thing I can add regarding IB is that most of you guys who trade with IB know that their margin call policy and their auto liquidation policies is not exactly a lenient one, meaning that if your account is approaching liquidation or where your net asset value is approaching your maintenance margin in the account, they're going to give you multiple warnings before you actually get close to that margin call level. And then they're going to tell you exactly at what time they're going to start liquidating your securities in the case that you do nothing about it. So that's another reason why I think IB is generally very secure and they're unlikely to take a loss. In 2020, Interactive Brokers actually took a loss when crude oil went to negative $40 a barrel. And you can read up about that if you want. I want you guys all to click on this link right here where it says check out IBKR. Now, full disclosure, if you click on this link, it helps me out. It's a tracking link, okay? But that link takes you to their website, and that's where we need to go right now. So if you want to help me out, go ahead and click on that link. You can also find it down below in the description and in other video descriptions. Okay, so now that we're on their website here, now let's scroll all the way to the bottom, and they have this new page here where they say a broker you can trust, okay? Before we go forward with this, I actually want to show you a document that is a public document that's on the government website, cftc.gov, and you can get to this page by typing in FCM, like Futures Commission Merchant, financial data, and it'll bring you to that page where you can see all of the FCMs and clearing firms and all of their financial balances, right? At least the ones that they're required to provide here on this document. So for example, this document is from the beginning of the year here, January 31st. And you can see if we go to number 29, which is interactive brokers, and just glance at some of the numbers here, adjusted net capital, 6.5 billion, and then customer assets and segregated, 7.8 billion. And excess net capital, 5.8 billion. Now, some of you guys out there, you might know what those particular fields mean more. So again, it's going to be up to you to look at those things and study it more in depth. Now, let's go back to the page I was on before, and I want to click here where it says IBKR protection. It's going to bring you to this page here that gives information about the financial, stability and strength of the firm, Interactive Brokers. And you can also watch this video where they interviewed the founder, Thomas Petterfy, and they asked him up front, like, how secure is IB? And what are the chances of insolvency and all that. And it's interesting to watch the guy talk, because this guy's been in the trading industry since, I think it's the 70s or 80s, which is pretty cool. So go ahead and read this page, and it'll tell you that, of course, IBKR is not a bank. It's a brokerage company. They're a broker-dealer, and the primary reason why people open broker accounts is to trade some stocks, baby. But, of course, I want to remind you that nothing in this video is financial advice, so you should definitely seek out your own advice from your financial professionals around you, where everybody these days is claiming to be a financial professional when nobody knows anything. That's right. So what I want to show you is basically how they pay interest on idle cash balances, which is quite useful. So let's say you got, 100 racks in a checking account, $100,000, okay, and your checking account just doing nothing, and it's in one of these Canadian accounts like with Tangerine or one of these banks that pay pretty much no interest. In my opinion, again, what I would do with the money personally is I would hold my funds in an Interactive Brokers account. And like I said, I'm not sure if you can just deposit funds in there and never place a trade. Probably you can't, but I mean, at the end of the day, you're providing liquidity to them in a way. So I don't see why they wouldn't let you do that. So what I would do is, personally, if I had, 10 million bucks, I'd just put most of it in that account, because I can ensure that it's probably going to be safe and that the risk of insolvency with Interactive Brokers is quite low. We're going to create a new search here, and we'll type in IBKR interest. And we're going to get brought to the page. If we scroll down here, we'll talk about interest rates. Now, these rates, of course, they fluctuate based on what the Federal Reserve is doing with the rates and all that. But currently, we're at 4.58% for the US dollar. So that means that if you were to deposit a $1 million cash balance in an account, you'd get paid $45,000 after a year just for letting the money sit there and do absolutely nothing. And maybe it's a little less because there's a condition that they don't pay interest on the first 10,000. And we'll talk about that as we go on here. But that's what they pay, guys. I mean, that's what it is. This is the page. You can read it yourself. And then the one thing to know about this, of course, is that there's a catch regarding small accounts. So if you have an account balance or a net asset value, meaning all the assets in your account combined, it could include stocks or other positions you have in your account. If the value of your account is less than $100,000 USD, they're going to pay you a proportional rate of this rate right here. So they're not going to give you the whole rate. Now, if your account is worth 100,000 or more, then they give you the full rate on all the cash. But like I said, the first 10,000, they don't pay interest, and they say it again right here. There will be no interest paid on the first 10,000 USD of cash. Now, of course, the more cash you have in the account, the more that this 10,000 here not being paid interest gets diluted. Okay, so they give a chart here with all the currencies because they pay interest on most of these, most of the popular currencies. Okay, and here we'll look briefly at the Canadian dollar, 3.889%. A question some people ask that I was curious about is, does this interest also get paid in Canadian registered accounts and retirement accounts like the RSP and the tax-free savings account, TFSA? And the answer is yes. I actually confirmed this with somebody on the phone, and they told me that it's as long as the account structure uses an IBKR Pro, in this case, you're going to get paid that interest. It doesn't matter if it's a retirement account. Okay, so let's scroll down through the list of currencies, and we'll just kindly ignore the Russian ruble here at negative 11%, which is insane. So scroll down here and you'll get to the interest rate calculator. Okay, and this is where you can enter the net asset value and cash balance in your account and determine how much the rate they're actually going to pay you. It's actually a cool little tool, and I like how transparent they are with this, where they actually show you exactly how much you're going to be getting. So I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom because there's a little fine print here just to remind you guys, always read the fine print on any web page. And if there is no fine print, then you should always be skeptical, because there's normally always some fine print, some little catches in everything, okay? So again, accounts with net asset value of 100 or more are getting the full rate. Lower than 100, you're getting the proportional rate and no interest paid on the first 10 grand of cash. All right, you guys got it? You guys with me? Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed this. If you think I talk very clear, precisely, and this is good information and very helpful, let me know. So let's go ahead and use this calculator. Let's say you open a brand new account, okay? And you just deposit $1 million. It says here 1,000,000. So future me has that money, okay? Not current me, but future me has it, okay? I always think like that. What would future me do in this situation? So we have a $1 million cash balance, and since we don't have any stock positions yet, by the way, you're going to be tempted to trade if you put money in a trading account, and that's another problem. Just, manage your risk. And of course, guys, this is not financial advice. So you have $1 million in cash and the value of your account is $1 million, okay? IBKR Pro, calculate the blended rate. Sometimes this button doesn't work, so I'm going to click on it again. And here we go. This is what they tell us. So we can see first that 10,000 in cash, we get nothing on. That's consistent with what they told us. The second thing is we have 990,000 and we're getting the full rate of 4.58% in this case. And our blended rate, which accounts for the 10 grand that we're getting nothing on and the rest of the money that we are getting something on, this is the blended rate that they give you. And that's the amount that you will be paid at the end of it for a $1 million cash balance. All right. So I hope I cleared it up for you guys. Now I'll just do a quick example with a smaller account. So let's say you only have, well, if you have 10,000, not going to give you anything. Let's say you deposit 50 in cash. You're going to see here that it's a much lower rate because now if you look at the above the tier cutoff, the 40,000 right there, because 10,000 we get nothing on, they only give you 2.29%, which is a halfway rate or half of the rate that they're paying on 100,000 or more. Okay. So definitely there's a catch here for smaller accounts, but for larger accounts, if you guys plan on, depositing, more significant amounts of capital there, you shouldn't have to worry about that. All right. So I hope this video gave you some good information. Click here to watch a new video regarding how to trade futures, and then click here to watch a whole playlist of IBKR videos with info like this. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Thanks for watching.